Hi guys, how's things? I hope everyone's doing okay. While I've been playing with napkins, I thought I would just keep my napkins out and make some altered playing cards. They make nice little journaling cards or, just, I don't know, for any use in your journal. So I thought I'd make some. So let me just grab my cards. So these are just some old cards that have just been laying around. I don't even know um, what they're for, to be honest. They're half and half and whatnots, but I got them from my son. So I'm going to quickly sand these. I'll take these outside and give them a sand. Now I just use a fine grade sanding block. It's just very fine. You can use coarse, I suppose, but I'm just going to rough up the shiny surface a tiny bit, just so the glue has some traction. If you don't have one of these, you can just use regular old sandpaper, and if you don't have that, you can use an old emery board. These work just as great. So all you have to do is just rough up your surface, like so, and you're done. See? So an old emery board works just as great. Anyway, guys, so I'm going to take this outside because it's a pretty messy job, and once they're done, I will be back. Okay, now we're back, and I've done all the fronts, and I've done the backs as well, because at some point I might want to just stick tea-dyed paper on the back, or other things, so I'll just leave that plain. So the next thing I'm going to grab out, this is just a little tiny silicone mat. I just bought it. It's just to put bake cookies and stuff on. So I use it for this job because I don't bake cookies. So there's that. All right. I used to many years ago, but I just don't do it anymore. Okay. So hang on. I just need some old book pages because I want to stick some. I want to stick some. Let me get rid of that. All right. So what I want to do is I want to stick some book pages down onto these. Let them dry. And then I'll come back and show you the next step. So for this, I'm just going to use just a regular old glue stick. That does work. If you find that it doesn't, well then I recommend you go for a Mod Podge or what do you call them? I can't even think this morning. A matte medium or something like that. All right, sorry guys, I just had a brain fog there for a sec. So I'm just going to stick some of this down. As you can tell, I've used this for this before. And then we'll let those dry. So I normally let them dry for a couple of hours. And then I come back and pull them off. So I'll just do a couple on camera. And then not stick it that way. So yeah, I'll do a couple on camera and then I will come back. Okay, I'm back. Now let's see how this looks, shall we? Hopefully it's dry enough. It's only been a couple of hours. So yeah, I just want just a little bit of noise in the background, so Sometimes you can still see it, other times you can't, but it just makes me happy being there. So there's that. You can alternatively just stick down a piece of book page, but I just like to do it this way because it's very satisfying. Really satisfying to just rip paper like this. There we go. There's two, and I'll use that for collage. That won't go to waste. Now, this is a thicker paper. Now, for the thicker paper, I had to use this Deco glue for it to actually stick, because the glue stick just, you know, kept coming up. So I learned that the hard way. Actually, it's just pulling the card off. Look at that. It's actually just pulling the pattern of the card off, so that's really sucky. So yeah, I recommend a thin page. Otherwise, this is what's going to happen. Obviously, look at that. Because the glue stick just kept coming up, and yeah, but that's okay. We're just going to do the way I suggested before that we could do, and just stick this down. It wasn't the effect I was going for, but it's going to have to do, right? There we go. Okay, where's a piece of paper? An old book page. Let's see what we got here. All right. So there we go. I recommend a thin page. Otherwise, that's what's going to happen. Oh, it's coming up a little bit, but not. It wasn't how I wanted it to go, but it is what it is. We just plod along and we just keep going, right? That's all we can do. So that one kind of works. All right, now for this one. Okay, let me just stick this down. And I'll just grab another little bit here, and I'll just stick that down the side here, like that. So to make sure I was recording then, I have this really bad habit of recording something and it's not on record. So I've done a whole video and there's nothing to show for it. It's just how it is lately with me. Alright. So, let me put the lid on that. Wonder why this one, see this one didn't want to play. That one did. That one was okay. But that's okay. We've got this. we've got this. Trust things not to work when I do a video. And when I don't do a video, things seem to work out just great. Oh, well. It's all fun, as long as we're having fun, right? If we're not having fun, there's no point in doing it, I reckon. And I think I've definitely found my mojo back. All right. And this one, let's hope this one does the job. Ah, there we go. That will do. Okay, let me dispose of that for now. I'll pop that in my bag of scraps. I have a bag of scraps that's growing and growing and growing, guys. I need to do something with it. It just keeps getting bigger. Alright. Now the next step that I like to do is grab my mat. This is where we grab the mat and our glue. So we'll see if we can basically do them all at once. Oops, let me get rid of that bit. It's like playing solitaire, isn't it? All right, now let me grab my bag of tissue paper and sewing patterns. And I'm going to grab out some sewing pattern paper. I like the yellowed look, so I'm going to grab that. Use up some of these scraps. And we might do one with the lighter as well. So I'll do the lighter ones first. So let me move those out of the way. And I'll bring that down. Actually, no, I'll do the dark first. I'll do the dark first. All right. So I'm just going to stick this on the top like that. You can use PVA glue for this. Oops, I just have this glue handy. I will grab the PVA though and show you that it works just as well. I just use a mixture of PVA and water, 50-50. Sometimes a little bit more, it depends on what I'm using it for. I'll use the PVA on the white, the lighter pattern paper. use this bit. Oops, not enough. There we go. And I'll just rip this bit off and put it that way. There we go. So that's that one done. And that's using the matte medium slash art deco glue. So I'll just move that out of the way. And I'll bring in the lighter paper with some PVA because I've just spotted my jar. It's right here. I'm going to give that a bit of a shake. I'll just use this brush. I don't like using PVA on my soft brushes because it makes them, no I won't, because it will make the bristles really hard and I'd prefer not to mess them up. So I'm just going to use an old, like a really old paintbrush for this, because I just find the PVA a little bit hard on the bristles of your paintbrushes. So like I said, this is just 50-50. It's probably a little bit more actually. It's probably more glue than water because I just keep, if I have an empty bottle of Gorilla Glue, I just tip it straight in there. So, you know, like if there's only a little bit left, I just plop it in and yeah. So it's probably a little bit stronger than 50-50, but not much. Make that a little bit more easier to work with. And if there are wrinkles, it's not really an issue for me, but you can be as pedantic as you like. Me personally, I embrace the wrinkles. Sorry, I have my paintbrush in my mouth. I have a really bad habit of doing that. Let me line that up. There we go. That's as good as it's going to get. The only drawback with the PVA is it does take a little bit longer to dry than the matte mediums or the deco glue. It just does take that little bit extra longer. Oop. See, I'm going to find that this paper for me, this colour, and this dark writing on it isn't going to work well under the napkins, but we will experiment and we will find out. So as soon as these are dry, guys, I will be back once more and we will continue on with the process. Alrighty, now these are dry and ready to trim. So there's two options to trim. You can either use scissors and go around the outsides like so. As if my fingers want to work today. I still need to find my other glasses. That's what I need to do. Alright, so you can either do it that way with the scissors, or you can grab your sanding block or your emery boards, nail file, whatever you want to use, and just scrape away the edges, just like that. Whatever works for you. It depends on my mood. Sometimes I like to cut, and sometimes I like to just do this. So that's with the sanding block, and it roughs up the edges a bit too, which makes it, you know, nice and grungy. And you can also use your emery board to do exactly the same thing, or nail file, whatever you want to call it. So I will continue doing these, and yeah, we'll move on. Alright, now that these are cut out and we're all ready to have a play around with some napkins. Now I have got a couple of napkins here that I would like to use on these. I've got my favourite, my kookaburras. I just love kookaburras. They make me happy. So I'm going to quickly just position this on there and just trim around, so that way oh, I don't want to cut his head off, I want to use him. I need to do this quick before it dries because it's so hot. I do have the fan on, but it's still really, really hot. It was cooler this morning, but yeah, just now it's very humid. Alright, so there's that one. Let me position this one. I just love these little guys. And so let's just use those two for now. And I will use maybe some of these ones. No? How about these? How about the birds? We'll use some of these. Right. So I just need to take the backing off. If you can hear talking in the background, it's my son. He's having a conversation with himself out there in the office, as one does when you're 17, I suppose. But I don't know, I talk to myself often, so there's that. All right. I do like these. This is the first time I've used this napkin. This is quite pretty. All right, so I'm just going to trim that. Yeah, I like that. That's really nice. All right, so there's that one. And how about this little guy here? We'll use this one. Just take that edge off. I don't like straight edges. So let me just get rid of that. Oops. All right. Yeah, that's really nice. Very, very pretty napkin. Okay, so let's start with these ones first. So yeah, we will start with these ones first. Okay. So I'm just going to use a small soft paintbrush just to tack this down. And once again, I'm using matte medium or Art Deco glue because Mod Podge just doesn't agree with our weather here. So I'll probably insert a little bit of music while I'm doing this, guys, because yeah, I'm kind of in the zone. I don't want to break that. I don't want to rip that. Okay, now for these ones. These ones here, the dark writings kind of got me a little bit worried, but we'll experiment and see what... That one won't be too bad. It's just those ones there. But I do like the writing on there, so let's just see what we can do here. I might actually use... Let me pop that in there and put the lid on this before it dries. Maybe use some of these ones on there. Let's have a look. I'll put these up here to dry out of the way. Oops, it fell down. Don't fall. Oh dear. There we go. Now, let's do this one. Okay, so I'm just going to let those dry fully, and um, and once they're all dry, I will come back and show you guys what they actually look like. Okay, let's check these out. I've popped them underneath my mat to flatten out. And there we have it. Now these didn't turn out too bad. I was a bit worried about the dark blue writing, but it didn't overpower, so that's good. I'm really impressed with that. So these are what we've done so far. Don't they look awesome? I love these napkins. These napkins are really nice. These ones here. And then we got our little kookaburras. So what I'm going to do now is just grab an ink pad and just go around the outside. I'm just going to use this Ganache Stays On. It's just an old ink pad. And I've been putting rubbing alcohol in the pads just to try and use up some of the ink, because it was a very dry ink pad. I do have a new one of these, but I thought I'd experiment with that icicle, and it worked out quite well actually. I'm impressed. This stuff here, I've got it here actually, I'll show you. That stuff there, it's just the rubbing alcohol, and I've just squirted a little bit onto my ink pad and let it sit for a while, and it seems to be working quite well. So yeah, I might get another couple of years out of this like I did my other ink pads, just by using water. Who knows? We'll soon find out, won't we? Funny. Anyway. Now, it doesn't matter whether I make a bit of a mess on the outside. I kind of like that look. That's the look I'm after. When it happens, it's a happy little accident. So and I will do the backs. I'll just let those dry a little bit first. I want to get my distress ink, and I want to go over this so bad and tone down this white. It's just too white for me. I like grungy, but we'll see how it goes. See how much it bugs me, hey? Oh, excuse me. Sorry for burping on camera. I just finished a little bit of lemonade. Alright, so we'll just go around the back as well, just in case I want to leave them as is. No doubt I'll probably stick some coffee dyed or tea dyed papers on the back and use them for journaling cards. Who knows? Anyway, no, I won't do the backs. I'll just leave them, and I'll ink them as I need to go, like as I need them. So there we go, guys. I hope this has given you some ideas on how to use your napkins and some playing cards. I think they turned out quite nice. Very happy with them. So there's the ones that we've done on camera. Like I said, I was really worried about this blue. I thought it might overpower the napkin, but it hasn't, so that's good. So they're the ones that we've done today, and these are the ones that I've done previously. Just because, but there we go. Anyway, guys, Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thanks for watching. Until the next video, please give your loved ones a hug. They're precious. Take care of yourselves. And I will chat to you all later. Bye for now.